I see a lot of Framber Valdez disrespect. Keith Law, he gave his top 5 AL Cy Young, and he did not have Framber Valdez listed, and it's very disrespectful. And I think what's happening here is Framber Valdez's consistency is kind of boring these media types. Like, oh, ho-hum, another Framber Valdez year where he's top 5 in ERA, where he logs 175 innings, where he's right there in victories at the top of the American League. He's in every single leaderboard just about. Oh, well, it's kind of like with Jordan a little bit. Not on that scale, but we're bored, listing and voting for Michael Jordan as the MVP, so we're going to vote all these other random jabronis. It's the same thing with Framber Valdez. Like, oh, okay, I'm bored having Framber in my top 5. Let me vote some of these youngsters. But if Framber Valdez doesn't finish top 5 AL Cy Young voting, it's very disrespectful. Like Keith Law has. He doesn't have a vote, but he had it in The Athletic. Framber Valdez, third in ERA, top 5th in wins, 6th in WAR, 9th in WHIP, and he's top 5 in a bunch of nerd stats. 3rd in FIP, 5th in adjusted ERA, 4th in adjusted pitching runs, 4th in adjusted pitching wins, 4th in situational win saved, and 5th in REW. Don't ask me what that is. I have no idea. But Framber Valdez is on almost every single important leaderboard in the top 5. If he doesn't get voted top 5 AL Cy Young, it's criminal.
You're right, because that's stats across all of baseball, right?
AL.
That's just for the AL?
And you only vote for AL pitchers when you're voting for the AL Cy Young.
Right. I was just curious because I also saw some other graphics about where his ER ranked in terms of all of baseball, and it's truly fantastic. And when you think about the hiccups that he had, kind of in that May-June era, I mean, little portion of the season, the way he turned it back around, dialed it back in, and has just been so steady, it's completely unfair that you don't have him top 5 in the American League. It's obvious Scooble's going to win it, and he is, the guy that stands out to everybody. And because he's on a team like the Tigers, they got a lot of extra attention, and he's going to be the winner. But if you can't have him somewhere in the mix, no matter who else you're looking at and who you think had a really good year pitching wise, then I don't think you've watched enough baseball. I know Keith Law, pats himself on the back and is always, a baseball analyst, and he can break down talent. And we've gotten into it with him on Hunter Brown, amongst things. There's no way you can't look at the season that Framber put together yet again and think he's not top 5.
5798. I hope Framber takes it personally and crushes the postseason. Yeah, that'd be great. 6091. When will the playoffs be set? I imagine they'll set the schedule sometime Sunday.
I think as soon as everything's solidified. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything still waiting in the wings on Sunday, but I would think that if they get it pretty done, if it's all done and said for who's playing who by Saturday, I would think they would come out either Saturday night or Sunday morning.
They play all 4 of these wild card games on the same day. 2 in the NL, 2 in the AL. So you're gonna have a bunch of staggered starts. I'm very curious what the Astros time slot is for these 3 games. But
who's the sexiest matchup from like a national perspective?
I don't know the matchups. Do you?
No. I mean, just by what it is today, we know Astros would be Tigers. It would be Royals and Orioles.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Padres.
I don't really keep up with the National League. The Brewers right now are the divisional champ that has to play in the wild card series in the NL. Dodgers and the Phillies are getting buys right now. Padres could still catch the Dodgers. They're 3 back, but that seems pretty lofty. Yeah. So you're looking at Milwaukee. If the season ended today, you're looking at Milwaukee, Arizona, San Diego, New York. But it'd be at San Diego, so they'd probably make that the late game.
Yeah, that's definitely going to get some national TV, though. I mean, the primetime slot. They're going to get a nighttime slot. I don't know, man. Like if you put that at 8 Eastern, they're playing at 5 o'clock in San Diego. I think they'll make that the late game. That's New York, though. They want the New York market in primetime.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm curious what they do. Now, the Braves are only a game back. They still have a chance. And the Braves and the Mets have to do that weird doubleheader on Monday if it matters.
That's crazy.
That stinks for them.
It really sucks because I want to say that it's the Braves that play, I think, in Milwaukee. And then they got to fly back. And then if they fly back from Monday's game at home and they play the 2 games, and if they end up being, then they got to fly to wherever they play the next day.
Yeah, it's. I thought the Braves played somebody in the American League. I wanted to say it had implications.
I thought the Brewers had implications between maybe the Mets have to play in Milwaukee. But one of the 2 teams.
Yeah, Braves are playing the Royals. They're home for the Royals.
Okay, so then it's the Mets. They would have to go. I think they have to go to Milwaukee, fly back to Atlanta for the doubleheader, and if they win to get enough into the playoffs, they have to fly wherever they're playing for the Tuesday.
Oh well, that's their problem, not mine.